Hey, we're live. 2016 GNU Radio Developer Call. So we have a small agenda. It's not a lot. It's mostly GRCon, a little bit about Summer of Code. I have some updates from community stuff, and we'll be talking about releases. Although none of the release managed actually in the call, so we'll just give a little summary. Okay, so let's talk about GRCon first, and I'll just hand it off to Ben for that.
All right.
So I need to figure out how to mute all my things now.
Function F1, F4.
Does that work?
I think it should.
So I think one of them works, the other one doesn't.
No, maybe neither of them work.
No, actually one actually works, the other doesn't. I think the audio, but not my mic.
Are we safe? All right, I think we're good. Hey, Michael, thanks for joining. Yeah, so GRCon updates first. The deadline to submit abstracts for presentations and posters was yesterday. We received actually a lot of abstracts relative to previous years, especially this far out. So we're really excited about the program that's going to come together. So we have a little bit of time to get through all the abstracts before we notify authors of acceptance. And I do want to remind everybody that the technical proceedings are independent of actually giving a talk. You don't even have to be at the conference to publish a paper in the proceedings. So if you can't make it for whatever reason, but you have cool work that you'd like to show off and share, please submit a paper. And then we're obviously encouraging everybody who is giving a talk or presenting a poster to also publish a paper if it makes sense. In terms of registrations, we are sitting at about 1/3 sold out, which is good, or ahead of where we were at this point last year. We do have a few sponsor slots left, but most of those are gone at this point as well. The ones that we have limited quantities of. We have limited quantities of any of the sponsor slots that provide booths, because we have obviously limited booth space. And so a couple of events that are tied to the conference are announced over the list. I do want to point out that Great Scott Gadgets, Michael Osmond, is hosting a barbecue at the Great Scott Gadgets offices Friday evening. So if anyone's planning on staying into the weekend after the conference to kind of explore the area a little bit, you have the Friday evening event at Great Scott Gadgets, and then the CU Boulder folks, as well as Mike Osmond, have volunteered to kind of put together a list of fun things to do in the area. It is a beautiful place to be. So if you're into pretty much anything outdoorsy, there's lots to do. There's also a lot of cool tech things in the area, like SparkFun. And Saturday is also the SparkFun Vehicular Challenge, if anyone's interested in attending that the day after the conference. Don't think I have anything else to talk about at the conference at this point. Does anybody have any questions for anyone that's on the call? I think it's actually only GRCon organizers on the call, so. All right. Martin, I'll hand it back to you then.
Okay. Also, you can ask questions in IRC, and then we'll try and track that. Just saying. Next item on the list was the Summer of Code. We actually did get that slot as expected with Summer of Code in Space. So now we have another guy, Christopher Richardson from the UK, participating in the GR Inspector toolbox. Together with Bill. How are you doing?
I think my phone might have been dropping.
Okay. I'm still getting.
I just muted.
Gotcha. Where was I? Okay, so yeah, Christopher from the UK joined the GR Inspector team, and students have been posting updates on blogs and on the mailing list, and submitting code. So I just encourage everyone to see what's happening, what's going on, and follow their work, and also provide lots of feedback. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say from Summer of Code at this point. So there is one thing that sort of came out of last year's GNU Radio conference, and I let that slide a little bit, but now we're back on track. So we have a closed mailing list for GNU Radio educators, and it's not exactly closed. It's you can join the list. It's just not supposed to be the same kind of public as the Discuss GNU Radio mailing list. Now this is a mailing list for people who are involved in teaching and are using GNU Radio and GNU Radio, and maybe, for example, university educators who are preparing classes, lab class, that kind of thing, using GNU Radio. But this could also, be something non-university related. So I don't know, like some ham booth, some ham radio booth, or maybe even like high school or other levels of schools where people are trying to get students interested in radio and that kind of stuff. And the idea is to sort of share ideas and materials the same way that we share our code, so people don't have to reinvent the wheel all the time. If you want to join that list, please, drop me an email, and we'll get you on that. Okay, so the final item on the list is the releases. So I'm just going to hand it off to Ben again to give the actually, maybe I'll just do it because then we don't have to
mute, unmute.
Mute, unmute. Yeah. Where did you post the?
It's in. Send it to us in the developer.
The quarters.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yes. So neither Nathan nor Jonathan are on this call, but we will be having a master release soon, which is very exciting. And so this will be the 3.7.10 release, and we're about to enter a feature freeze phase, and then we'll let it stew for a little bit, and that's when the release will be tagged. Now, there's one big thing still missing on this master release, which is all the packet modem work that Tom Rondo has been, was working on before he I was going to say left the project, but he's only left the leadership of the project. Yes, so we've posted a branch called Packet3 on all our Git repositories, so both on GitHub and on GNURadio.org, and they contain all the changes, and it's quite a lot of stuff, but it's very, very backward compatible with small changes. There are small changes in the correlation estimator and the PFP clock sync that might affect behavior, but other than that, it's just new stuff. And it's a really nice unified way to define packet-based modems. So to define the protocol headers and all of that. And yeah, it comes with a lot of documentation and examples, so it's easy to try out. And I recommend people take a look at it before it gets merged, because we're still reviewing it. That's why it's not yet in master. So I recommend everyone takes a look at it to see what it's like, what it does, and if there's any changes you would suggest, because now is the last chance to do so. Okay. So
there's also going to be a Volk release.
Oh, okay. So there'll also be a Volk release. Yeah, okay. So Nathan writes there will also be made a master Volk release. I'm guessing it'll coincide in time with the GNU Radio releases. Well, it'll be slightly earlier because it's a dependency.
Yeah.
And there will be some new stuff, including GNSS kernels. So sounds interesting. Okay. That's really all there is to talk about.
It's a short call.
Anything else? Last chance to ask stuff from the audience. Nope. Nope. Okay. Well, in that case, I'll stop the broadcast, and then let's have another call next month. No, actually, next month there won't be a call. Well, no. Next month there will be a call.
Yes.
Yes. July there will be a call, and then August there will not be because of the radio conference. I think it's
September.
Then September there will be the next one. Okay. Thanks everyone for joining in, for tuning in, and see you next month. Bye.